Community Foundation.
All right.
As a representative of Yountville
That's right,
Arts.
Yountville Arts
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah. Her grant
Representative.
experience will be good on that, so it's exciting.
Is this her first time then?
Yeah, she's
coming
brand
on?
new on Yountville Arts, and she
Right,
stepped up to take on this role, this co-rose who.
Good.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. So with that, can I get a vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? I forgot to ask for public comment on the consent. Seeing none, we don't have to go back. Is that okay, Town Attorney? All right. And we do not have any guest presentations, and we have one public hearing this afternoon with, we do not have an applicant, so we just have a staff report. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at this time. So, please.
Just briefly, so town staff are proposing additions to the master fee schedule to account for staff time required in order to process and issue permits related to temporary use permit applications and Washington Street activation permit applications. We're proposing a fee of $512.80 for TUP applications and a fee of $621.61 for Washington Street activation permits. And I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for that. Any questions from the council on our public hearing? Yes, Councilmember Knight.
Thank you. Thank you for your report. So I just reading it quickly, I noted that, so you're estimating staff time to prepare these two types of temporary use permits. And so we're setting a minimum fee, but the report said it could be more for an applicant. Depending on the application. And I know that these temporary use permits can be for an event or an activation use on Washington Street up to a year. But at some point, I just wondered in terms of after you do a few of these, is there in terms of just the way we figure fees, I just would think at some point there'd be a template you would use and you could move through the application processing quicker. And I don't know if, do we typically on a regular basis review these to see if we can reduce fees after you develop enough uses or templates that it maybe doesn't take as much time typically for staff then?
We certainly can do that. I will say with temporary use permits in particular, they can vary greatly. I mean, it can be anything from an event to a vacant commercial space to a pumpkin patch so there's a pretty big variation in what they can be. So we can eventually look at, once we have a big number of permits that we've processed, we can evaluate what the timing is for those for sure.
I appreciate that. I was thinking of kind of like Washington Street activation, but now I remember you talked about it could be a temporary use. Maybe we have Halloween outfits for October in a building or something. I mean, like what you see in Napa all the time. So I understand there could be a varied uses that take up time to kind of process. So thanks for your time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Nope. Then I will go ahead and open public comment on this item. Seeing none, I will close public comment and bring it back to council for a decision on adopting a resolution that would authorize this change to the master fee schedule. Any comments from council?
This is the next logical step after we pass the idea of having temporary use permits, and we've been successful with Washington Street activation permits. So it just feels like this is the next logical step. And I agree with Councilmember Knight about revisiting how our staff time is needed for each kind of activation, and maybe one that's only a month long is less than one that's a year long. I don't know what the cutoff points would be, but I feel like we could tailor the fees more once we get experience with how that goes.
The only general comment I would probably have, because of this discussion, is, I was just, and maybe this is a question first, but are these fully loaded hourly rates? I see our finance person, so that takes into account everything. Okay. Yeah, so that's my only question, because that's where the hourly rates come from, just so everybody kind of knows. All right, yes.
I do
Yeah.
have back to the
Yes.
question.
Vice Mayor.
Phase, if that's okay. So do permits first go through to a principal planner and then default to go to the director? Or if it's cut and dry and kind of a basic one, is there need to elevate it for your stamp of approval, or how will that work?
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be in a case-by-case basis in the nature of what the particular permit is. But typically, I'm going to put my eyes on it before it goes out.
And when people pull this permit to fill it out, is this all done online, or is this, do we have, I'm working with some chefs in Napa that this permitting kind of thing has gone to an outside portal, and it sounds like it's just extremely confusion, and there's absolutely no human being to talk to help them through the process. Can you tell me what our process is and how we help people?
Sure. So it will be entered in through our online permitting system, and then it will be assigned to a planner who will then be directly corresponding with the applicant. So it's not going to go off into the ether and be automatically
Stays
programmed.
in-house?
Yeah. It'll once it gets inputted into the system through the computer online, it'll be person to person from there on
That's so
out.
much more hospitable. Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, thanks.
All right, with that, let me call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
I
Or,
can,
no, let's make a motion first,
okay.
sorry.
I'm happy.
We haven't got that part.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm happy to move adoption of resolution number 25-4388, authorizing town staff to update the master fee schedule to incorporate these new fees for temporary use permits and the Washington Street activation permits.
All second. That's okay.
Okay, and I'll close the public hearing before, any more discussion from council?
Just to say that, Mayor, I know my comment earlier about the fees, but I support this resolution. I think considering what we're creating for opportunities for businesses in town that didn't exist before COVID with these temporary use permits and Washington Street activation, hopefully there's a lot of opportunities for some exciting new retail in town. So,
Yep, thank you. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstain? That passes unanimously, so thank you very much. Do we have any administrative items, Town Manager?
I think there's a couple reports. We don't have any administrative items, but there's a couple report outs.
Okay,
12.
let's just go ahead and move to the staff presentation and informational reports.
Go ahead, Joe.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Quick report out. The Washington Street corridor project has begun. They're doing preliminary work, starting on the utility side of things. The schedule, and we've published a flyer, and we've put the flyer on the website, as well as handed it out to all the businesses along the corridor and the residents. But the paving schedule, when traffic will start being interrupted, begins after Labor Day on September 2nd. And then it's important to note that there will be, on September 8th, from Weber to Yount, the work will be at night and not during the day, with the intent of minimizing the daytime conflicts and impacts to the traveling public and the businesses along the corridor. The other thing that you'll see in town right now is preparation for storm season. So you'll see a contractor working diligently on Fennell right now at Hopper Creek. They're working on the storm drain system to make sure it's clear and ready for the winter season. After they're done at Fennell, from here to Beard Ditch, they're going to move over and do the culvert that runs from Washington Street through Hotel Yountville to Hopper Creek on that end. And so they'll be clearing that one. And they're very good about traffic control. And if you have any problems, give us a call. But the work you see is a big giant water truck and Vector truck clearing the storm drains in preparation for winter season. End of report.
Yeah, I live right by that on Fennell, and just so everyone knows, when they're clearing out storm drains, they're basically sucking up rocks and gravel. So it's a little, it's got some noise associated with it, but I know it's working because there's lots of rocks and gravel like sounds the whole time. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, and Mayor, you may want to expound on the letter that you had sent out, but we did send a letter out through our ad hoc committee that we established at the last meeting that, for business relations and economic development, that talked about the Washington Street Corridor project. Introduced Bev. Natalie was part of the meeting, or part of the letter. So that's gone out, and feel free to add. I did want to just mention two things. One, we will, Hillary's not here. I'm working with her on getting something out late this week or early next week in terms of the week of September 9th through 16th being a week where we'll have a number of outreach events associated with the Commons and where we're at with the updated site plan and entitlements and all of the community updates that we promised on a quarterly basis. So that will be September 9th through September 16th. It will kick off with the ZDRB meeting where we'll make a presentation. That'll just be a presentation, no action being taken. And then we're working through that week. Wednesday we'll likely have an open house. Brendan will do his cups of coffees by appointment. Then Tuesday, September 16th, we will have a 1 o'clock study session in this room with the council. So that'll be basically the same presentation after a week of outreach. And there may be action items. We're still working through that, but those would be at the regular 3 o'clock meeting. So that's coming, and just for the public, making you aware, and we'll make sure through communications that we get all the information out. And then we had some meetings today as it relates to the RFQ for design build teams. That will go out this week. Separate process. We'll give roughly a month for teams to respond. We will then interview teams at the end of September. And then at that point, we will sort of reassess, and ultimately I'm saying January, February, come back with the next quarterly report. There may be action items along the way, but the public should be aware that week in September, and then again, January and February will be these quarterly updates that will keep the community apprised of everything that's going on at the Commons.
All right. Thank you. And just briefly on the letter, this came out of an ad hoc meeting with Councilmember Reeves and me and our town staff. And the goal was really just to let all the businesses know that the town of Yountville is a partner with our businesses. We wanted to just formally recognize that in the letter and invite any comments that the businesses would have, and that we also introduced Beverly, our new Deputy Director of Business Development, and her active role working with the Chamber of Commerce. And then on page 2, we went through and itemized all the work that's really going on right now, and along Washington Street, and other initiatives that are planned coming forward. We've gotten a few responses. I've forwarded those to the staff team. All been positive, and they just really appreciate the outreach from the town to the businesses. So thank you, Natalie. If you hear anything that we can help with on your end, we're here. So.
Mayor?
Yes.
Have the responses been from kind of the usual businesses that are more vocal, or have you heard from some of the quieter businesses that certainly have thoughts but don't normally?
Yeah, no, one of them was Rich Frank, who is one of the partners in Bottega.
Good.
He reached
Okay.
out and, just we gave him a quick reply. Thanks, and it was just really, thanks for the letter and.
Keep that door open, yeah,
Yeah,
good.
so, and let's see, who else?
Ren Harris. I think
Yeah,
it's
Ren
all been
Harris,
positive, and I would
yeah.
tell you, Bev has been walking up and down Washington Street and using the letter as an icebreaker, and as had Stuart Sellers and a few of the people, that we don't have, day-to-day
Yeah.
relations with. So I think it's working.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Letter.
That's everything I hear. So, I think this is very kind of useful information to really reach out to the businesses and let them know that we're here and not kind of be as silent maybe as we have been. So, Natalie, keep us informed about how you think it kind of is going as well. So, and I don't really have any further comments. And so, Town Manager, anything else? Any other informational reports? All right, then I will go ahead and move to council external meeting reports. The flood control met last Tuesday. The only public hearing item we had besides approving a few more parcels to add to our current project is we did a major update on the budget for what we're calling Amendment 3. This is the next segment from Amola Avenue to the Hatt Building flood wall. So we are in, and the budget amendment was for the design phase. So we are moving ahead with starting to build increment 2 right now. So still working on the flood wall. So that's the only meeting report. Anybody else have another meeting report? All right.
Mayor, only just one. I can't remember. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I got an email from the county and WIC, the Watershed Information Council. The Board of Supervisors are reevaluating how that group meets and the information that we take in and how we act on it. And so we'll find out maybe more later in the year how that committee will continue to be active as a county subcommittee.
Yep, I think that's probably time to take a hard look at that.
Right.
When you really think about all the water-related activities and commissions and committees going on, like I serve on the North Bay Aqueduct, which is another interesting group. There's a lot of them, so, yeah.
There may be more discussion about how the cities and the county can interact around surface water and other. It may lead to a different discussion, but that's forthcoming.
Yeah, I'm always curious about how they even interact with each other.
Right.
I think it'd be good to kind of know that. Okay, no other meeting reports. I will go ahead and adjourn to our regular council meeting at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, September 16th. But prior to that, we'll be having the workshop. Is that right? Do we have a time set for that? Is that 1 o'clock? Yes, the workshop will be 1 to 3 in our meeting on September 16th. Regular meeting will be at 3 o'clock. So with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second?
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. I don't think anyone's going to be opposed. And just for the record, 21 minutes. So thank you, everybody.
Well, after last time was 4 hours, so we'll take it.
All right. Red lights off. Good job. Your record. It's in the books.